Hello and welcome to our final multiplying and dividing fractions lesson from Soflex Math. So we are going to work on word problems and when to multiply and when to divide. So this is probably one of the most difficult units we'll do in our whole mastery course. So make sure you kind of pay attention here, practice these, think, ask questions in the comments if you do have a question about what we're doing. So let's look at our first word problem. It says Bob worked on his homework for 2 1/4 hours. So 2 full hours and then 1/4 of another one. He practiced soccer for 1 1/3 times that amount. So he's practicing soccer for 1 1/3 times the 2 1/4. How much time did he practice soccer? So for this one, our key word is going to be in here. So our key word is going to be times. So how long did he practice how many times in there? So we are going to write our mixed numbers down. So 2 1/4 times 1 1/3. All right. And if you remember, so we can go back, if you need to go back to the multiplying mixed numbers lesson, you can, but we have to make these improper fractions. So 4 times 2 plus 1 is going to get us to 9/4. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4 thirds. Okay, and then we can cross divide. So there's a 1, there's a 1. Divide each of these by 3. And we have 3 times 1, 1 times 1. So our answer is going to be 3 hours. So 3 hours is how long he spent practicing soccer. So once again, take a look at what keywords. It says 1 1/3 times. That one is pretty easy, I think, to figure out to multiply because you even see the word times in that word problem. All right, let's take a look at some other ones and see if we should multiply or divide. All right, our second word problem here. Kylie ran 7/10 of a mile on Friday. She ran 1/5 of that amount on Monday. How far did Kylie run on Monday? So this time our keyword is going to be the word of. Not always, but a lot of times the word of means to multiply because we're taking part of a number or part of a fraction. So in this case, we're going to take our starting time on Friday, 7/10, and we're going to multiply it by the 1/5 of that time that she ran on Monday. So 7 times 1 is 7. 10 times 5 is 50. So the question, how far did Kylie run on Monday? Well, 7/50 is less than 7/10, so that's good. So 7/50 miles. Okay, and if you even wanted to say miles on Monday, that would even be okay as a more specific answer. But 7/50 is your answer to that. So our first two problems, we did some multiplying mixed numbers, and now multiplying fractions. All right, so now let's look at, I'll tell you right now, we're going to do a division one. So let's see how the dividing fractions problem looks in terms of a word problem. Okay, Jill's phone battery is down to 3/5 of a charge. Her phone is losing 1/8 every hour. How long until her charge is at 0? Okay, or she runs out of a charge. So let's take a look here. So what does she have? Her starting amount is 3/5. So we're going to go ahead and write that as our beginning fraction. So remember we said order matters. So we need to know a starting point. How much does her battery have right now? 3/5. So that's going to go first. And then we're going to divide because we're going to have something that's repeating. Every eighth of an hour, okay, she's losing it, losing it, losing it. So that's going to be a repeating subtraction, which is also known as division. All right, so we rewrote our problem. So we're going to do those same steps. First number was the same, change it to multiply, and then we're going to turn our second number, use the reciprocal, and flip it over. All right, so 3 times 8 is 24. 5 times 1 is 5. And we need to write that, of course, in simplest form, which will be a mixed number. So how many 5s can go into 24? 4. And what's left over? 4. Because 5 times 4 is 20, plus 4 is 24. All right, so 4 4/5 hours until her phone is all the way down to 0. So she has a little bit of time left here on her phone, so she can probably still do some stuff. But see how it's losing it every hour, so it's repeating. That's what's going to tell us to divide. So we're kind of looking for some keywords and just kind of thinking about what's happening in these problems. All right, let's look at our final division problem. All right, a 9 1/8 mile stretch of road has mile markers every 6/7 of a mile. How many mile markers are there on this stretch of road? So we're going to take the total again. Remember, we're going to start with the total, which is the bigger number, because 9 1/8 is our total. And then once again, we have something that's repeating. Okay, so we're going to divide that by 6/7 of a mile. So every 6/7 of a mile, there's going to be a little sign, a little mile marker. All right. So step one for this. So now we have a mixed number divided by a fraction. So turn this into a improper fraction. So 73/8. Okay. And then we're going to do times the reciprocal. Flip this one over. All right. Unfortunately, not too much to simplify here. So we're going to have 48, 8 times 6, 73 times 7. So 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 7, 49 plus 2. Get us to 51. So 511 over 48. I can't do that one in my head. So let's go ahead and set up a little division problem. Okay, pretty nice here. 48 into 51. That's nice and easy. One of those. Okay, how many 48s can go into 31? Well, it can't. So we do have to have that 0 placeholder in there, which will tell us to subtract 0 and so on. So we're going to have a remainder of 31. So how many mile markers are there on this stretch of road? So there's 10 and 31 48ths mile markers. All right, so that one didn't work out even. It probably should have, because there's not really 31 48ths, I don't think, of a sign. But for our purposes, just an understanding that this would be set up as a division problem. It definitely is a division problem. So that means if you counted them on this stretch of road, you would have counted 10 and 31 48ths is how many you would have seen. All right. So go ahead and take the quiz, see how you do, check your work. If you get any wrong, feel free to review those lessons or those questions. Leave any other questions in the comments, and thanks for joining us on Soflex Math.